What is up guys, Wraec is here with a new video, and today we're going to talk about the next rate up hero after Soren, who's going to be here for another 2 days and 7 hours till the reset from Thursday to Friday, when we're probably going to see the next rate up hero. At that point I'm actually going to do a live stream and we're going to summon this new hero together, test him and see if he's good and if you should summon him too. So I'm doing a bit of a sacrifice there, my poor gems, but it's alright, everything for a video and a nice live stream. So, who is the hero that we are going to see there? Well, it is ULMUS, a wilder tank. We just got the first trailer of him, and well, we can get ourselves a little bit of an idea of his skills. I already watched and have to say, a bit concerned about it. Let's check it out. And there he is, and a little bit of a note before we start. Tomorrow you're going to find this stream linked on my Discord and in the live stream tab of my channel, so definitely make sure you set yourself a notification for it so we can do all of that testing together. So yeah, here he is, ULMUS, a tank wilder, physical 1 range, nothing too spectacular actually for tank in there. 1 range is pretty standard. I mean, more is actually good. If you have 2 range, that would be very nice. I kind of like 2 range. We obviously often have those like close spaces on a map, and sometimes like with the recent heroes, especially Soren, oftentimes you see a hero just standing around because you just can't access the area where the last enemy is, and that is... yeah, I hate to see that, I'll be honest with you guys. I hate to see that, and would have been cool if he had at least 2 range so he can hit those heroes, but okay. I mean, makes sense. He's a melee hero in that sense. The more concerning thing, or the thing that was concerning to a lot of players, was he's an A tier actually, and I was a bit confused by it as well. I don't really mind A tiers. I've stated my opinion on that a lot of times. I think a lot of those A tiers in this game are pretty good, so I don't mind them being in rate ups. The fair point, I guess, against A tiers is that they are more common than S tiers. You can earn them easier through a variety of options like Dream Realm, through all hero recruitment, and I guess, yeah, that's true, they are a bit more available, a bit easier to get, so probably less worth it to go for a rate up for an A tier. And with all of the discussion and the negative reception of rate up in general, I would have expected that they now put out like an insane S tier hero that people really want to go for in rate up. And I guess the plans didn't fit that way. They have ULMUS here, who is returning from AFK Arena, I was told, and wasn't quite that great there. I have no idea, I didn't play the game, but I was told not that great of a hero. And the concerning thing is, seems to be the same thing here. Let's check out the skills. So there they are. The general idea of this hero is, well, he's a tank, so he first of all is pretty much at the front of the team, supposed to protect the rest of your team from the enemy. That is the general role of a tank. And his competition, of course, in the wilder area is Granny Danny, a very good tank who does exactly that, who can sustain herself pretty well, who is very tanky, and who will protect the rest of her team through a lot of skills, through HP regeneration, through pretty good health pool, pretty good fist def and M-def, so all of that is available on her, and she has a good place in the meta actually. If you don't have Fresto, then she is really a good option as a tank. And in that competition we now have ULMUS, and ULMUS, first thing that he does is he has a passive and an active part in his ultimate skill. The passive part is activated once he drops below 30% HP ratio. We're going to see a video of that in a second as well. And what basically happens is he will move to the backline as soon as he drops below 30% HP. Essentially, well, not dying at that point. And there he will spread his roots. He won't be able to move at that point anymore. He can't be CC'd at that point anymore. And all of his attacks become ranged instead of melee. So we had this 1 range hero that is a melee hero, and all of his attacks become range, and they become get a bit of AoE, 50% of damage to surrounding targets. So that is the main thing, and we can check this out in the videos they made about it. This main skill, though, is like a melee slam. It is in the active part, and you're going to see that here is a melee slam. He just slams down on the area in his surrounding with the most enemies, and those enemies will be knocked down, which is a form of CC, of course, and is quite nice. He also has the ability to gain a shield for some time, which is pretty good. Is quite nice. They didn't show this skill, sadly. They just explained it there. He has passive HP regeneration, which doesn't seem too strong. Let's rewatch that part actually. You can see the HP regeneration there. It is visible. It's just not very good. It just doesn't seem super, super strong. Maybe we zoom in. Okay, I zoomed that back so you can see the HP bar a little bit better. And you can see he still takes damage, but obviously he is recovering a little bit. But he's still going down as long as that Seth was on the board. He was dying now with the iron. The iron doesn't actually deal enough damage to beat him. But it's not a really huge HP regeneration at all. And like the thing is, you need pretty strong HP regeneration to stay alive in the end game. If you want to push AFK stages, you come to the point where the enemy damage is just super, super high. And one of the main things that the currently best tanks, well, to survive in those stages can do, which is like Granny and just like Fresto, they can recover immense amounts of HP pretty quickly. Fresto especially has the extra added benefit that he will also have his illusion next to him, which essentially doubles his stats at all time. So he's way tankier than your average tank just because he splits it to 2 heroes, the damage that you take. And then he has 30% damage reduction on top of that, plus everything that he can do. And then you have the ultimate, which can fill up his entire HP from near 0 to full if there are enough enemies in the vicinity, which he just can't. So now we get to see the second part of his skill, which is the 30% HP thing. That is the parts here. Now he basically moved to the back. All his attacks come ranged. You see he throws pebbles and big rocks, and now he has a bit of AoE there. Interesting thing though, watch this active immediately. And yeah, he knocks down the iron for a very, very short amount of time. Doesn't really do anything against the ego though. And the damage he deals, well, yeah, pretty much nothing. So not too insane. At least it is AoE, but if you needed a tank to survive in this stage, well, then you now have a problem, because your Valen is now in the position where you really want to have your tank, and your tank is just playing Arden basically, because he plays AoE damage dealer, which is a bit ridiculous in my opinion. Let's watch that again. It's a bit ridiculous. And one thing to note though, he changes his HP regeneration here to energy regeneration. Is, I guess, for the role he takes, it is alright, but doesn't make too much sense if you want to have him as a tank. That is the next skill though, and this one, if he sees use, which I doubt it, I think this one will be the effect of which, because he sees use. And this effect is basically whenever a target is knocked down, knocked into the air, or affected by other displacement effects, he will increase that CC. Will increase the duration by 2 seconds and deal an extra bit of damage to that hero. And of course, in that sense, we have one major displacement effect that is very, very meta, and that is Iron. With his ult, he has that is called a displacement effect. And of course, if you add 2 seconds to that CC, that can be quite strong for PvP, a bit of extra damage there. And with Wilder, you're also adding to the aura. So that is, I guess, the interesting part. In the videos, they said it's every 4 seconds it can be inflicted on the same hero. Here we have it every 10 seconds. So we'll see what enters into the game, actually, which of those stats. We have damage increase here, we have a bit of life drain. Life drain is actually quite nice. If you can trigger that, that's pretty good. We didn't yet see if it triggers upon his own skills, but if that is the case, I mean, at least he gets some restoration with that. That might be interesting if he can then restore more HP with his ult by just hammering the enemies down and then recovering his HP. That might be quite interesting, but I doubt it will be very good. We see an example now in game of this skill. And there he is, his ult basically, enemy gets hit by Cassidy's undertow, gets knocked into the air and is immediately CC'd. I hope, no, they don't use his own skill. That would have been quite nice to see if his ult can do that. I think it did say when enemy is target. So might be possible that his own skill activates it as well. We didn't see it yet. So yeah, now we saw his skills, and I have to say, in the competition with Granny, I don't see how he is better than her. If the life drain is insane, if that skill, that Mythic Plus skill, is activated from his own active skill, then maybe, but just this jumping to the back is so horrible when in AFK stages all you really want is your tank to be between you and the enemy. Like Fresto, for example, does it here. You want to have those target lines be on your tank, and once you hit the battle button, you really want those Frestos to take the major amounts of damage, because everything else will likely die in this situation. We actually don't have the survivability probably with Fresto as well to survive. But still, you can see he is still there. Once we his ult actually activates, which with this burst team it didn't, he will stay there, and you can add on that with a variety of support heroes. If you now had a hero that didn't do that, that wouldn't stay between you and the enemies, well, then this number wouldn't look like that, because he really took all of that damage, and if that damage hit our team, those guys would be all done. This damage is actually enough to kill all of those. So yeah, in that situation, I think this active skill, this ultimate skill that he has, is fairly horrible. It is fairly horrible. I'm a bit concerned about this hero. I really would have expected a better hero to be released right now, but that doesn't seem to be the case. We will have to see if I'm wrong about it. I'm actually hoping that I'm wrong about him, but I saw a lot of other people's opinions about it, and pretty much that was the same that I just said. It is just not really a tank in that sense, and everything else that he does will probably be lackluster compared to Arden, because if you want an AoE damage dealer, use something like Arden. You will be very happy with him. He will do a ton of damage. He will also do CC, so it's not really too much of a reason to really go for the tree yet, and the selling point of him, I didn't really see it yet. So we'll have to test him. We'll see if he's good for anything. Till then, I hope you enjoyed the video. Wish you a great day, and we'll see us in the next one.